everybody doing today? Good to see you showing up on the Vital Axiom. Looks like all the names and numbers are starting to roll. What's up, Gary, Cindy, Jason? Hey, Bob Tackett, long time no see. Japan is here. Canada's here. What's up, David, Josie? Dirty Daniel's here. I think that's Tennessee. I'm not sure. Hey, Jim. Kind of smoothing it out on Monday. It's raining here. Pray for Japan. It's a strong typhoon coming later. Wow, they need prayer. That sounds serious. A little bit of whistling. How about that? First time I've ever whistled on the show. What's up, Taylor? Hey, Karen. It's about time to get this show on the road. You guys ready? Welcome into the Vital Axiom as we get ready to roll for a Monday. I think program number something like 525 programs. How you guys doing? Hey, Patty. Hey, Russia's here, so we can start. Russia made it. Elias here. Privyet. Как дела? How you guys doing? It's a Monday and rainy here in Southwest Virginia. I'm tired today a little bit. Of course, Sundays always get me. You know what I'm saying? They always, hello. They always get me. They always wear me out because it's a busy weekend and a lot going on. We had a lot of fun yesterday. Excuse me, I had a phone call this morning about a little guy that came running down front to the altar yesterday. I'm not sure how old was he, Gary, maybe 6 or 7. Gave his life to Christ. What's up, Danny? Hey, Joel Trigg. It's like Donald Harding's in the house. Donald, you got to let me know what day it is I'm speaking. Is that Thursday, I think, maybe? Donald having revival this week, and he's asked me to come over and share, and I'm excited about it. I'm just not sure when it is. I probably know from somewhere. And this little kid, his grandmother said she had to kind of hold him back. And finally, she let him go, I guess, like a horse out of the stall. And he ran down front, and he was pumped. 8 years old. That's what I thought. I thought he was 8. What's up, Debbie Adams? You like my cover? You like my clover design? I know I got that over at the Buckle. I like this hat, just because it's cool looking. And, yeah. And the pre-roll in there, that background is from my wood shop. So you guys know I build furniture and refurbish pallets and junk. So I went around the shop and took pictures and stuff, and I've been using those as my background. Hello, Heather. That was a really cool bookmark you drew for the police. Saturday. Okay, cool. I'm going to sing a song I did yesterday during worship, and maybe you guys can glean something for your life from it. You know, the Bible gives us encouragement about the Lord being for us, not against us. He's with us, never leave us or forsake us. That's what this song talks about. And it just says, I am not alone.
When I walk through deep water, I know that you will be with me. when I'm standing in the fire, I will not be overcome. Through the valley of the shadow, I will not fear. I'm not alone. I'm not alone. You go before me. You'll never leave me. I'm not alone. I'm not alone, Lord. You go before me. Never leave me. In the midst of deep sorrow, I see your light is breaking through. The dark of night will not overtake me. I am pressing into you. Lord, you fight my every battle. You'll never leave me. I'm not alone. I'm not alone. You go before me and never leave me. You amaze me, redeem me, and call me as your own. You amaze me, redeem me, you call me as your own. You amaze me, redeem me, you call me as your own. You amaze me, redeem me, you call me as your own. You're my strength, you're my defender, you're my refuge in the storm. Through these trials, you've always been faithful. You bring a healing to my soul, and I am not alone. I'm not alone. You go before me. You'll never leave me. I'm not alone. I'm not alone, Lord. You go before me. I know you'll never leave me. I know you'll never leave me, Lord. Put my trust in you. I'm not alone. Not alone. You are with me through it all. Through it all. I'm not alone. I'm not alone. I put my trust in you. I put my trust in you, Jesus. Oh, you're my everything, God. Yes, you are. I'm not alone. You go before me.
It's a truth that we need to learn to live in and believe that we are not alone. We are not alone. Sometimes we feel like that. I felt alone many times. I felt like, hey, you know, God, where are you? David felt that way. David from the Bible. He said, oh, Lord, I cry to you from the ends of the earth when I'm overwhelmed. Lead me to the rock. That's where we have to go. We have to go running to the rock. We have to run to Jesus. And not the rock, that wrestling guy. But run to the real rock. That's the Lord. How you guys doing? Good to see you on the show today. A lot of names jumped in I missed. Hey, Michelle and Todd and Cindy and Tiffany and Lynn. Hey, Lynn. Florida's here. Ariel. Hope you're feeling better today, Ariel. Laura Couch is back. Hey, there's Melody Davis. How you doing, Melody? It's good to see you. Larry Wells is here. So many people and from around the world, around the country, and just around the neighborhood are here today just hanging out with us as we just love on the Lord and talk a little bit. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm stretching. I'm tired today, man. I'm tired. You know, Sundays are tough days for them old preacher men. Right, Joel? They're tough days. And but I wouldn't do anything else. I tell you, I wouldn't trade it for the world. Hey, Donna. Let's talk a little bit about what I talked about yesterday. We're going to talk about it this week. The title of my message yesterday is called Live. Capital L-I, capital L, capital I, capital V, capital E. Live, to live. And that's what we're going to talk about this week. You know, last Sunday and last week we talked about, are you ready? We talked about that process of being ready to meet the Lord. If you are in a place where if the Lord returns, however he returns, not to debate eschatology, don't ever want to do that. Hey, Kenneth, however the Lord returns, are you ready? Whenever he returns. And this week we're going to talk about live. And I guess I'm troubled a lot by what I see people calling Christianity. So we're going to look at some things that Paul said in Ephesians chapter 5 this week. We're going to kind of bounce around, and we're going to get right down where you live, talk about some intense stuff. We're going to talk about how things go. What's up, Keller? How you doing? Toby's here. And so we're going to talk about this week. Let me just kind of pick up at the beginning of yesterday's message from church, and then we'll kind of go through that. First of all, we are called to live. We are called to live. I want you to think about what that means. We're called to live. Christianity is something to be lived. Now, you know, can I just give a little history? I'm a preacher's kid, right? I've been in church my whole life. Hey, Jimmy. And I've been in church my whole life and seen a lot. A lot of stuff happen in churches and church people and in the world, in the country. And I've seen a lot of things go on. And I think a lot of times I look at people who call themselves Christians and they miss the point that Christianity is something to be lived. And Paul really talks a lot about that in Ephesians 5. Christianity is not. Let me tell you some things that Christianity isn't. Can we start with the negative side of that? Christianity is not religion. Hey, Nikki, how are you? Hey, Mary, how are you doing? Christianity is not religion. You say, what do you mean? Yeah, of course it's religion. People go to a church and they worship God. No, it's not religious in what God intended. Maybe we've turned it into some religion, but Christianity is not religion. Christianity is somebody you become. Religion is just something you go and do. Christianity is not religion. Christianity is not ideology. And what do I mean by that? Well, Christianity is not where we take some good ideas and apply them to our Constitution and all that, you can do that. Don't misunderstand me, because obviously we did that when we found this nation, and it's made for a great nation. It's starting to fall apart now, but made for a great nation. But Christianity is not ideology. Ideology is just a list of good ideas. Christianity is not a feel-good. You know, and although a lot of people who get involved in Christianity, God really blesses them, and you can experience something in your body, an emotion. I have many times, do all the time, the presence of God. True Christianity at its peak is not a feel-good. Yes, we feel good, but we don't call ourselves Christians because we feel good. Maybe it's part of that. It's not religion. It's not ideology. Christianity is a life that you live. Christianity is to be lived in a very well-defined way. And I want to talk about that this week. Hey, Stuart. I want to talk about how Christianity is a live, not a life. It's a live. It's something you do. It's a verb. Life is inhale and exhale, yeah? And Jesus said, I came to give you life and that more abundantly. But we understand that when he gives you that life, it causes you to live something. You start to become somebody. It affects every aspect of your life. And Paul talks a lot about that. Can I just say it like this? Christianity is not a do, but a be. You see, here's what people think Christianity is. Okay, Christianity is, well, I go to church on Sunday, and I'll put some money in the offering, and then maybe I'll volunteer for something that, help wash some cars or something, and that makes me a Christian. Well, I'll read a few scriptures in the Bible or go to a revival service over at Donald's Church. Christianity is not a do, it's a be. If you come to Christ and you give him your life, you truly become born again, then you will begin to be somebody you've not been before. You'll begin to live and act and talk. It's a becoming. It is a live. It's a be. Jesus called us to be. Therefore, there's something he preached on called the Beatitudes. Hey, Crystal. And so I want you to think about it as Pamela and people jumping in. I'm missing everybody. Hey, Donna. Christianity is not a do, but a be. And I want you to think about that. We're going to start out looking in Ephesians chapter 5. Verse 15. But before we do, I made a little picture for you guys I want to put up here. Here's what I told the church yesterday. I want y'all to look at this and think about it. Many people flock to Christian events, concerts, church services, all kinds of stuff like that. But few leave and actually live Christian lives. Capital live. Look at it again. Many people flock to Christian events. Just because you show up at a concert or a church service, or just because you like to hear somebody sing or some Southern gospel roundup or something. A lot of people go to Christian events, but few people leave those events living Christian lives. Living Christian lives. And I'll give you an example. When I was living in South Carolina, hey Tommy, when I was living in South Carolina, Billy Graham came there, Billy Graham Crusade. And thousands and thousands of people at Williams-Brice Stadium. It was amazing. And thousands of people were there. And you know what they told us in the meetings that came before the crusade, all the prep, and get all the churches involved, that out of all the hundreds of thousands or thousands and thousands of people that come to the Lord at Billy Graham Crusades, in a year or 2 years or 5 years, something like that, only 10% were still serving Christ, which means a lot of people came for the event. A lot of people came down to the front and, cried and felt bad about what was going on in their life, but only 10% become livers who live it. And so I want you to think about that. Sometimes I think we get confused. We substitute the fact that we go to Christian events, and that makes us a Christian. And Christianity is who you become. Now, let's look at what Paul said. Ephesians 5:15. So be careful how you live. Are you careful how you live? It's funny how the culture in the church is changing, and how we sorry, I didn't mean to bump the mic there. How we don't really look at God and the Word of God like we used to. And of course, this happens in every generation. And then the revival comes, and people get back to the basics of God's Word, which is what America really needs, is a nationwide revival. And so Paul tells us, a lot of Christians will say, oh, no, man, it doesn't matter how you live. Just love Jesus, and he'll take care of everything. Well, Paul didn't say that. Paul said, be careful how you live. And he's writing to a church in Ephesus. Be careful. Have you ever thought about that? You tell somebody to be careful. Hey, be careful. That means that they need to pay attention. Watch what you're doing. So the question, hey, Jessica, the question comes out, be careful how you live. And then he gives this pretty in-your-face kind of a follow-up to that. Don't live like fools, but like those who are wise. Wonder what that means. Okay, he's talking to the church. That's important for us to know, talking to church people. And he's saying, hey, guys, you better be careful how you live. So apparently your living really matters. And a lot of people think it doesn't matter, but I'm going to tell you, your living really matters. And he says you got to be careful how you live, your day-to-day, your moment by moment, hour by hour. Be careful, take care in how you live that life, you walk it. Don't live like fools. I wonder how fools live. But like those who are wise. Well, how do wise live? We're going to talk about that this week. We're going to talk a lot about it. Let's talk a little bit about fool versus wise, and then we'll wrap up. Just a few minutes here at the end of the show talking about fools versus wise people. They're opposites. So here's what we know. Fools live one way and wise people live another way. And we're going to discover some of the things that Paul says those are this week. It's either or. You can't be a fool and be wise at the same time. So this week I want you to tune in. Hey, could you do me a favor? You don't have to, but how about share the program? Share it with a friend. You can go on Periscope right now and click share with all your friends. You can go on Facebook and share the broadcast, or share it after it's over in its recorded form. And we'd love to find some more viewers and just get to know more people. and spread the gospel and the love of Christ with more people and worship and time together. Let me just close with this. A fool, a silly or stupid person. I didn't say stupid. A person who lacks judgment or sense. And a wise person is a person having the power of discerning and judging properly as to what is true and right, possessing discernment, judgment, and discretion. Whoa! So, which one are you going to be? Which one are you going to live like? We'll talk a lot more about it this week. And hey, Jeff. And we'll give you guys a lot of really cool things that Paul said about foolish and wise. And maybe when it's all said and done, maybe we can learn something, maybe change a little bit. Okay, kids, I'm out of here. You guys have a blessed day. Let's kind of go out smooth. Can we go out smooth? A little bit of jam, a little bit of... Looks like Devin was late. You guys have a blessed day too. Follow us on the Facebook. Love you guys. Adios.